Right, 9 April 2021, and this is my second video for the day. Very, very interesting, and I know a lot of you have been waiting for this video, and I want to make it very, very short. This is a very, very heavy defeat for Nelson Chamisa and the MDC Alliance. and I do not know why Chamisa keeps doing this to himself. It's terrible what has been happening in the MDC Alliance. These guys are lawyers. Chamisa is a lawyer. In fact, he's an advocate. Mahere is a lawyer. In fact, he's an advocate. There are so many lawyers in the MDC Alliance, but they keep failing to understand basic and simple concepts of the law. And the judges are having a field day. If you look at the judgments, the judges are baffled at what has been happening in the MDC Alliance, the kind of court cases they bring. People like Tendai Biti, top lawyers. I do not know why they keep making basic mistakes. And you know, someone like Senator Munzora is a very, very accomplished lawyer, and he will have a field day, especially if you bring Professor Maduku in the mix. Professor Maduku is a very, very good lawyer, and I think, in fact, he was a lecturer of most of the guys who are in the MDC Alliance. So maybe that's why they keep losing to him. So let us go into this judgment. In this judgment, Nelson Chamisa's MDC Alliance, they went to court and they wanted to stop the MDC-T from getting Political Finance Act funding, which amounts to about 229 million Zimbabwe ZWL. So that is about 229 million rands that they are supposed to get from the government. And this court case was dismissed with costs. So that means Chamisa and his party, they have to pay the costs. So if you want to see the full judgment, you can go to gambako.com. You are going to see the full judgment there. But I want to take you through this whole judgment, and then I want to look at what are the options for Nelson Chamisa, because Chamisa has to make a decision. There is no way he is going to go besides a different direction. He has to change what he's been doing, because this is starting to look ridiculous. So the court case, or the court judgment, was handed on 17 March. In fact, the court hearing on 17 March, and the judgment was handed down on 6 April, which is on Tuesday. The applicants were represented by Muchade Hama, and the first and second respondents were represented by Jaricha, and the third respondent was represented by Maduku, as I already said. The first respondent was MDC Alliance Chamisa. The second and third respondents were government departments, legal and parliamentary affairs, and Minister of Finance and Economic Development. And the third respondent was the Movement for Democratic Change, Changirai. And the judge was Justice Muzofa. So in this agent chamber application, the applicant seeks a provisional order with the following terms. So this is what Chamisa went to court, and he was seeking that it is hereby declared that the monies due under the Political Parties Finance Act belong to the applicant, the MDC Alliance, led by Nelson Chamisa. First and second respondent be and are hereby ordered to pay all monies due to the MDC Alliance, led by Nelson Chamisa, in terms of the Political Finances Act through its Steward Bank account number 103-693-8297. That first and second respondent pay the costs of the suit. So you can see what Chamisa wanted here. He wanted to be declared the owner of this 299 million. So this is the money that was supposed to go to the MDC Alliance. And the judge disagreed. So the judge said, this is not correct. And then he went on to give his reasons. So I want to quickly look at what kind of facts the judge looked at. So the first thing is the MDC-T opposed this application. And they said, the points they raised is whether the applicant is a legal persona capable of being sued or not. Was this case urgent? And whether the deponent to the founding affidavit has locus standi to depose to the affidavit, whether there are clear disputes of the fact, whether the application is frivolous and vexatious, that this court should just decline its jurisdiction. And he spent a lot of time on whether the MDC Alliance is a legal person or not. And as I said, if you go to gambako.com, I've put the full judgment on the story that is there at the top. And the issue that arose there is an existing judgment in which it was said that the MDC Alliance is not a political party by Justice Chitapi. Then there is another judgment in the case of Lillian Timvias, where the judge agreed that the MDC Alliance was a political party. So Chamisa's side raised that point, that there are those two judgments that are conflicting. However, the question then arose of the Constitution. In the first case with Justice Chitapi, the MDC Alliance of Nelson Chamisa was unable to produce a constitution. And then in the second case of Lillian Timvias, the MDC Alliance was able to produce a constitution. The question then was, during the election of 2018, did the same constitution that was presented before the Lillian Timvias case exist? And obviously it didn't exist because the MDC Alliance was a global political agreement. So that constitution, where did it come from? This became a question in this court case. Did these guys manufacture the constitution in the second case? And was the same person in court during the judgment by Justice Chitapi as the same person was in court during the judgment in the Lillian Timvias case? So if you look in this judgment that I've uploaded, all these questions arise. And I don't want to go too much into detail. I think you should read this judgment by yourself. But then the judge raised a doctrine called the doctrine of estoppel. I'm not sure if it's called a doctrine, but it's estoppel. The estoppel means if a ruling exists, you cannot then go before a different judge with the same parties on the same case and get a different judgment. So the existing judgment stands until it is dismissed. And at the moment, that judgment still stands. And therefore, the judge ruled that Nelson Chamisa and his MDC Alliance were not properly before the court. There was no applicant before the court, and therefore the case was dismissed with cost. So please go and read this court judgment. I do not want to go too much into detail. But what I want to do here is I want to conclude with my views on what Chamisa has been doing here. Chamisa has been wasting a lot of time. He's been wasting a lot of energy on this case. And as I said yesterday, Chamisa has a lot of support. But at the moment, he's confusing people. Time is moving. He needs to make a decision on this party name. You cannot continue fighting over a party name where there's a Supreme Court ruling. There are 3 other judgments that say the MDC Alliance is not a political party. And you keep going with the same argument to the same court on different days and expect a different result. So it's clear to me Monzora has got the MDC Alliance name. During the elections, Monzora is going to take this MDC Alliance name and use it to contest. He's going to keep the MDC-T name, and Chamisa will end up without a name to go to the elections with. And this is something that needs to be addressed as soon as possible. MDC Alliance supporters, they need to understand what is going on here. There is a serious problem in the MDC Alliance. For some reason, they want to hold on to the name, but the courts are telling them that it's not what it's supposed to be. That's not their name. The name belongs to Monzora. Right, let me go to the questions. So please hear the conclusion that I've reached here. Chamisa has no choice. He has to change that name. He's going to announce a different name soon. If he doesn't announce a different name, he's going to go into the elections without a name. Right, let's go to more boys. Our judges as ZANU-PF structures. I do not agree with you, more boys. Our guys in the MDC Alliance, they do not understand the law. I want to make this very, very clear. They made mistakes. Read these judgments. You don't go to a court without a constitution, and then you don't go to court with a different constitution and claim to be the same person that went without a constitution. And then you don't go to the same court and ignore all the doctrines. You just lose. It doesn't matter which court you are in. Here in South Africa, the EFF has been losing judgments quite a number of times because of mistakes. And I think this is where the leadership needs to show. We need to see that Chamisa is a true leader. He needs to come up with a change. And that means moving away from the legacy of Morgan Tsvangirai and starting his own brand. If he does that, it's going to be painful, but that is the only way to go. Right. But the judiciary is a joke. How would they participate in recent election? That was, what if they won those general elections? Okay, I guess this question has been asked a number of times. Remember, Monzora was on that side. So that is a different case altogether. Martha, which party do you support, Gambakwe? I told you a few months ago that I'm going to be out of politics now. I'm going to be doing media. Chikomba, well done on that jersey, Gambakwe. I love that, brother. Maybe on Wednesday we'll go. Okay, soccer. I always wear soccer clothing. Right, Mpo, greetings, Gambakwe. Let's go. Judge Wekupi, guys, you have to respect the courts. And if you don't respect the courts, when you become the ruling party, people are not going to respect your courts. People are not going to respect what you do. So it's a culture. You have to have a culture of respecting the courts. In Zimbabwe, the justice system is existing. It's not like in other countries. Of course, it's not perfect, but you have to respect judgment. Right, more boys minutes. What you said is not the doctrine of estoppel. I'm not a lawyer, but the judge said it in those papers. You can also have a look at it. And Mr. Bobby Supia, how are you, sir? Gambakwe, estoppel arises out of the doctrine of res judicata. Simply means a party is prevented from pursuing the same or similar case which has already been adjudicated by another court. That's true. And the judge put case law. If you go to gambao.com, he put 2 case laws to support his decision. Stanley Beki Kumalo, why not help him so far? You closed to him. Okay, I don't know if you want us to help Chamisa, but Chamisa is a lawyer, and he should know that what he needs to do at this particular moment is to change the party name. Mr. President Chamisa is to change the name of our party. I agree. And then, Mr. Supia, you agree with me that what the lawyers are doing in the MDC Alliance, I don't know if it's political posturing, but they're really showing that they're not considering these cases carefully before they go to court. They need to consider these cases. They need to think very hard, because we can't say there will be a judge who is perfect from heaven. There has to be, you have to go before the judge that you are given, make your case, and if the judge is wrong, it must be clear. But I don't think in this case the judge is wrong. He is very, very clear. And I know that the people in Chamisa's party, they know that they're blundering, they're being charged all these costs when they go to court, and that is not the way to go. Right, I think this is enough for today. It's a Friday. I've had 2 videos. Tomorrow I'll be back. We need to talk about a number of other things, but mostly our project. We need to be updating people on the project, and also if there's any other new developments, we're going to come up and talk about them. I hope that you guys have seen the video by Sevia Kasukuwere. He talked a lot about what happened during Operation Restore Legacy, and also about the future. So on Sunday or Monday, I'll come back and we'll have a look at that. And on Monday, I'll be back with Mr. Tinashe Jonasi. We want to look at the readmission of Zimbabwe into the Commonwealth. There is a lot that is happening, guys. Our country is going through a serious change. And one day, you're just going to wake up and everything has changed. We're in the middle of a massive change in Zimbabwe. Many people are not seeing it. I've seen this before. Before, in 2017, the energy is starting to build. And something is about to happen. Something very, very big. And you have to be ready. You have to be aware of what is going to happen. The opposition, the politics in the opposition is totally changing. The politics which was there in 2018, 2019, that is dead. There is a new politics that is coming, and it's going to surprise many, many people. Right, I really enjoy talking to you, and I have to go. It's been a very, very long day. So we'll talk again tomorrow, and I hope that I'll have a few guests here to talk more about business. Thank you very much for watching, and good night to everyone.